Hello, everybody, and welcome also to my presentation. My name is Robert Kraus. I'm one of Glaston's vice presidents, and I'm responsible for our new service products and new service offerings. In the next minutes to come, I'd like to give you a brief overview about our brand new offering in diamond grinding wheels called HyperFX. HyperFX, new improved HyperFX, a revolution in edge grinding. So let me mention two important things here. A perfectly ground glass edge is always the result of lots of determining factors. So it's not only because of a high quality grinding wheel, there are lots of factors determining this perfect ground edge. The second thing to be mentioned here is that there is not the perfect grinding wheel out there in the market. When I say the perfect grinding wheel, I mean there is not one grinding wheel available out there in the market. You can achieve the best result in all the different sectors. Like, for example, the highest cycle time, the highest lifetime, and or the best edge quality. So it always depends on what you want to do, and you need to have the right grinding product for the right purpose. This is exactly where the HyperFX idea kicks in. And HyperFX is a holistic approach. So therefore, of course, it's the grinding wheel itself, it's the physics, it's the ingredients, it's the composition of the grinding wheel itself, but it's so much more. It's also considering all relevant factors and all relevant production parameters, like, for example, it's the machine itself, it's the machine condition, it's the machine generation, what is the machine able to do, it's the process kinematics or the cooling water dynamics, and it's important to develop and to understand the whole picture and to understand all the influencing factors which lead to the perfect grinding result. Let's get a little bit more in detail in this holistic approach. So perhaps let's spend a few minutes on grinding allowance. Grinding allowance is one of the most important factors in terms of grinding. For example, if we could reduce down the grinding allowance from 0.6 millimeter to 0.5, that's only 1/10 of a millimeter. And on a first view, that doesn't sound really spectacular, but in fact it is. Because this might offer us complete new possibilities and complete new ways, and we could perhaps go with a different type of grinding wheel. We could use different parameters, we could go faster, we could achieve completely different qualities. And at the end of the day, it's a decrease by approximately 15%. So at least the wheel lifetime should be increased by these 15% at the end of the day. And this is very, very important to be considered, the grinding allowance. And the grinding allowance is also determined by lots of influencing factors, as I mentioned before. Glaston has developed in a, I would say 2 or 3 years, close to 3 years project, its own grinding product, its own grinding wheels, in cooperation with external experts and research institutions such as, for example, the University of Zurich in Switzerland. And I'm happy and proud today so that I can announce our 3 diamond grinding wheel families we developed. First of all, to mention, it's the HyperFX Volume family. The volume is the right product to choose when you need to grind away a high glass volume. This is, for example, for thicker glasses. The second family is the HyperFX Fast Volume. The fast product is the right one to choose if you're looking for really short cycle times. Typically, this is an automotive application, for example. Last but not least, the HyperFX Fine. Grinding wheel out of the Fine family is the right product if you're looking for the utmost surface quality. And also here, you need to get the whole picture. You need to understand what do you want to achieve, what is your goal, and where do you want to go. So how does this work? And how can we really add something to the whole process to make it a success story and to really deliver also the added value? For example, multi-groove grinding wheels. Every additional groove will add 100% of grinding capacity. And to make that happen, you need a very precise Z-axis adjustment, what we of course offer in our machines. Another really interesting thing here is that we can think about sandwich designs. So we can run different sorts of grinding wheels in one clamping operation. And this, for example, would enable super fine edge qualities without changing the wheel in one process. And this offers completely new possibilities. Another very important thing to mention here is the HyperFX Administrator. What is a HyperFX Administrator? This is special design software which goes hand in hand with our grinding products. And now, really first time, it will be possible that there is a communication between the grinding wheel and the machine control system. So all the glass and grinding wheels will have a unified identification number, or better said, serial number. So in every time the grinding wheel is in operation or is installed in the machine, the control system will recognize that and will know, because they will know each other. And what makes this really interesting is that we will have a history. So the control system knows the history of the grinding wheel. And if you think that to an end, this brings completely new possibilities in process support and opens complete new doors on that. Another thing to mention here is our subscription-based digital offering, the Glasson Inside Automotive Plus. This is a perfect match to get to the really best grinding result you can imagine. I will do a short presentation later on in this session, so I don't want to get into the details here. Hopefully you're able to join in a few minutes and to listen to that presentation. Another thing to mention here, Jose was also talking about that a little bit, is an optional 2D scanner, especially for very thin glass applications. It's extremely important to have the center of the groove perfectly centered in relation to the glass. So, and with a 2D scanner, this happens fully automatic, without touching the glass, without any glass waste, and this is also something supporting the whole process and making sure that we can run with the smallest grinding allowance which is possible. Another very interesting thing with the 2D scanner is that this scanner is delivering very, very interesting information regarding the wear and tear condition of the grinding wheel and about the shape of the groove. So, and also thinking this to an end, this opens a complete new world of process possibilities and process support we can offer on that. Okay, so where can we use it? And I would say it doesn't matter if you think about consumer electronics like TV screens, mobile devices. You will hear much more about interior displays later on during that session. Or if it's automotive, standard automotive glass applications, or solar glass or appliance glass, we do have the right grinding product for you available. But not only the grinding product, we also have the right process support available, because we understand all the influencing factors. And in combination with the communication between the tool and the control system with the Hyperfax administrator, this is the holistic approach of the Hyperfax grinding system. Okay, so that was it. Hopefully I could create some interest in that, and I could make you a little bit curious in our new offering. And don't be shy, get in contact with us. We are here for you. You can get in contact with me directly. We are here to help you, happy to support you, and to help you to reach the next level of production. Thanks a lot, and now getting back to Jose.